Hi, I'm Olivia and I am on the product team here at Fiveonefour. Today I'm going to show you how you can get up and running with Moose in just about 5 minutes. If you're not familiar with Moose, Moose is an open source framework for developers who want to build fast analytics focused applications on top of a high performance data stack. Let's just dive in. I'm going to use my command line helper to quickly spin up a new Moose project. To do that, I'm just going to run npx create Moose app, specify the name of my application, which we'll call Hello Moose, and the language that I want to use. And I'm going to give us a blank slate to work off of, so we're going to use the empty flag. What this is going to do is set up all of my project structure and files that I need to quickly start being productive. First, I'll change into the directory. I'll install my dependencies, and as soon as that is all done, we'll be ready to spin up our local dev server. So Moose is differentiated in that we believe the local first development experience is paramount to being productive as a developer. So when you spin up your dev server, we spin up an entire pre-integrated data stack for you, powered by ClickHouse, Redpanda, and Temporal. So as soon as you boot up your dev server, you can quickly start experimenting, iterating, and testing out your data pipelines without having to configure any of the underlying infrastructure on your local machine yourself. When you're done iterating, all you have to do is git push and go to production the same way you promote any other software into production with a Git-based version control type of workflow. All right, our installation is complete, so now we're ready to boot up our dev server. To do that, we're going to run npx moose CLI dev. And again, behind the scenes, what this is going to do is spin up all of my Docker containers for my locally running infrastructure. And this covers the end-to-end spectrum of infrastructure tools that are needed to support my data application. So that spun up successfully. We have a locally running web server running on port 4000, and this is where we can start posting data to our project so we can start ingesting data. Let's give a quick tour of the project structure. So I have this app folder, and this really contains the heart of all of my project code. So the nice thing about Moose is I define all of my kind of data pipelining logic or my data modeling logic within these folders in regular TypeScript or Python files. And the framework is then able to infer how to configure the underlying infrastructure and how to orchestrate my pipelines just based on the logic that I have implemented in these files. So let's actually show you that in action. I'm going to start with the data model, and we'll create our first data model. It's just a TypeScript file. And what I'm going to do in this file is export an interface. Once I export that interface, Moose will hot reload my infrastructure with this new change, and I should be able to start ingesting data that adhere to the schema that I'm going to define in this file. So I'm going to import a key from mooselib. And now we're good to start defining our first data model. So let's export an interface named my first data model. And within this interface, we're going to define the schema for our data model. So let's give it a primary key, and we'll make this of type key. This is just a generic, so we'll pass it a string subtype. And then let's just give it a simple timestamp with a date type. Save the changes. And as we can see, our file watcher detected that change and quickly hot reloaded all of our infrastructure with that local change. So if I preview my ClickHouse database, this is my locally running ClickHouse instance, I can see that my first data model now is listed under my database tables. we can preview it and see that there's no data. So let's actually send some data. To do that, I have an ingest API that's configured for my data model. I can access it by opening this openapi.yaml file in my .moose folder. And I just have the Swagger UI client here. I can open it up, try it out, even edit some values. So let's change our primary key to just hello and hit execute. Immediately we see that the API sync has received our request and written the row to our database. Just to sanity check, everything landed. Let's preview our table results, and there we go. So that's how you get started with Moose in under 5 minutes. Stay tuned for the next video where I show you how you can start implementing real-time streaming transformations. Thanks for watching.